Buddy, my name is Jason.
I'm Caden.
And we are sick. We got the cold. And, wait. Maybe we don't have the cold. Okay, what can we say and what can we not say on YouTube, Cubs? Okay, so here's the gig. I've been waiting for 2 years to get this cold that's going to send me to the crematoriums that never stop burning 24/7. So far, to me, I'm on day 5 or 6, probably 6 of this. It feels like the average cold. It feels just like a cold. And you know what? They were right. I lost my breathing. I can't smell a thing. Well, I can't even breathe either. And has nothing to do with any of the stuff. It's the everyday house cold. Just like we've gotten every single year. Except now it's rebranded. And that's about all I can say on YouTube. Except that, get in bed, get some Kleenexes, blow your nose, sound like you can't talk, feel like you can't breathe. Kate, how's your cold doing, bro? How's your cron doing, bro?
Oh, it's wonderful, man.
Come over here, speaking to the mic, son.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I know you're on death's door. We are at the milk farm, and it is super early in the morning, and I had to get Cade because. Let me explain how this family works in several different ways. You know we have 10 pit bulls, right? And the reason we have 10 pit bulls is because of my little homeboy here, Cubby. He left the door open way 4 years ago when Hannah, our blue-nosed pit bull, and Hannah was in heat, and somehow the door got left open, and we ended up with 7 babies out of that. And we had 2.5 pit bulls prior to that. We have a lab pit, and we have Gideon, who is a full pit, and we have Hannah. She's a blue-nosed pit bull. And so about 4 years ago, and my boys are twins, right? And so the mother of twins, it's always those funky things like, yes, a mother of twins, which doggy do we get rid of? Which doggy should we sell? The twins' mother's never going to, neither of them can go. They're all good. So we were going to get rid of them. We were going to sell them. And unfortunately, why didn't we sell them?
Dude, we each had our own favorite one. We each had our own, reasons not to sell them, or something like we couldn't break up the pack if we kept one or two.
And we had advice from this dog training place. This lady goes, oh, you're thinking of keeping the entire pack. She's like, you will end up with sibling rivalry, unmatching anything of any other kind of dogs. So we actually went into this pretty unwise, and the first year wasn't too bad. It was little tiny puppies, and with little tiny teeth, and every once in a while they would scrap, and where they would scrap, I guess the starting out when they started scrapping was when their mother. For those who don't know about dogs, their mother dogs, when they are almost done feeding them, I guess what is it? Breastfeeding from a dog. I don't know if that's right, but they're eating off of the dog. Well, when they are getting ready to be done with that, the female dog will start puking up what looks like dog food. No other word for it except it looks like canned dog food. And the 7 pits, whenever she did that, she would puke it up and they would go eat the food. Well, they'd start fighting over the food. And so we've always been on edge, and it's been crazy. I would never, ever tell anyone they should ever keep a pack. Anybody. You got to be a special type of alpha male. You have to have a special type of patience. You have to know about pack respect. And one thing that we do that nobody else does is they are free all around the house. And so they've never been roped. They've never been kenneled. They've been together as a team. They've been together as a pack. They're together as a family. 3 dogs sleep with one boy. 2 dogs sleep with another boy. 2 dogs sleep with another boy. And a couple of them roam out and about. And that is our life with the pack. And that is, it's a doghouse, right? There's been a couple cats that have, for some reason, we're out in the middle of nowhere. And some reason a cat will jump over the fence, and those have been some very wild mornings. And there have been a couple cats that have left in body bags, and it's crazy. It's a crazy life. And it seems like we go 6 months without a fight, and sometimes it's a year. The last huge fight we had, we called it the Roctagon, and the boys weren't really involved. It was me. they started a fight way at the edge of our property, and I had to run out there, and it felt like 5 minutes. I was fighting them up, and when I got up, I actually tilted over. It was such a rough fight, and literally we are in the middle of a dog match, right? You are trying to stop the people you love, which are dogs. You're trying to stop them from getting owned, and dog fights are just a horrible, horrible thing. It's a tragedy in any regard. It's worse when there's more than one dog fighting, and I am usually the one that ends up scathed. At some point, I'm either bit or bleeding or something of the sort. And I thought this was an interesting story to tell you guys, because a lot of people will take, people that follow Yah as weak people. And, that's one of the things that we are absolutely not. And we are extremely boyish here. We bleed a lot. We live on a farm. We're always bucking grass and cows, and it's a hard life, right? It is not it is not a city slicker life. It's hard. And so what we had on Sunday, his first day, we had a neighbor that came from nowhere, and they never come. And I was just happening to be cutting some grass. I didn't even know what went on. The neighbor comes over, it triggers the pack, they start fighting. And it was like, I don't know, five on one for a little bit. And I'm just in the back, happy-go-lucky, weed eating and cutting grass for my cows, because it's just basically like baling hay every single day for my cows. And I was oblivious to it all, and I think I'm on sickness day 3 or something of where I was. So I was really sick, and we're all getting really sick. It's just a normal cold, right? So I probably wasn't thinking right, and I'm sitting there weed eating, and the dogs are out over there, and Jaden gets in there, Caden gets in there. Jaden, it starts off at the side of our fence, and it moves. I mean, I can't explain this with justice. I can't explain it and get the storyline right. But these are all 70-pound to 100-pound pit bulls. And Boss Clan gets in there, and we fisticuff the dogs, and we try to break them up. And I don't know if, Kay, do you remember the first rule of Fight Club?
There should never be a Fight Club.
There should never, ever be a Fight Club. Kate, what's the second rule of Fight Club?
There should never be a Fight Club.
There should have never, ever, ever been a Fight Club. All right, what's the third rule of Fight Club?
Tails.
Tails, 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 tails. Everybody grab their tails. That is the only way to get them to, if there's more than one person. If there's only one person and you have dogs fighting, it is a mess. It is a mess. And it is a tragedy, but we are here. We are survived. One of our dogs ended up with stitches, Mr. Bubs. He's got some foot injuries. Panthro, our other dog, he got bit up all over the place, but he's fine. These dogs are extremely resilient, and we do not allow any kind of fighting in this house. We do not allow any kind of anything at all. I mean, can you imagine us allowing, pit bulls to ride? And, if you tried to keep 10 pit bulls without babysitting them day after day after day, you would end up losing a pit bull a day. They are beautiful, loving dogs, but they're like anything else. They're like humans, right? If you go up to a human and you push them, the dude might swing on you, right? You never know what's going to happen. And, they're the same things. And they have really good temperaments, and most of the time we are good. But this time we are not. So anyway, that is the story for the day. And we are, as you can see, my voice is completely shot. I'm recovering. The rest of the family is still on day owned of this. Fevers, coughs, snotty nose, all this crap, right? And we rarely ever leave our farm, and so we're not exposed to people ever. We're off grid in the middle of nowhere. So I think I went into town one time and I brought back a cold, right? A common cold, and everybody's so scared. Everybody's so scared of dying. I don't get it. I'm sitting here, it says my lungs are filling up. I'm coughing, hacking, wheezing. It's like I sit on the side of my bed at night for hours on end because I'm in such a mess, But everybody's so scared, right? Everybody's so scared of this, right? Oh, it's going to get us. It's going to get into our lungs. If it gets into my lungs and it kills me away, that it is what it is, right? That means my life is up. That means the last breath that our Creator has given to us has evaded it's evaporated, right? And then I will be with my Creator, or I will be in Sheol if I didn't make it, or I'll be in the bad Sheol if I didn't make it, right? But why are we so scared to die? Why are we so scared of a little tiny cold? Yeah, it's hardcore. It's hardcore. I don't feel well. And I'd like to complain a lot, but you know what? I'm not going to do that. Instead, what I'm going to do is try to tell you guys some stories and tell you guys some inspiration and give you guys some big boss clan love, and just let you guys know that we are so thankful that you are here and, you know, spending a little bit of time with us. And I hope you guys are reading your Torah. I hope you guys are in on this. And this takes me to this word where we're sitting here, and I don't have a lot of images or anything, so I just had to do a little talking. Hopefully that was entertaining enough. This is the word impious, right? And this goes in with the lesson for today and where I was reading. And it's an adjective, and it's not showing respect or reverence, especially for a god, it says. The emperor's impious attacks on the church. Or similar is godless, ungodly, unholy, irreligious, sinful, immoral. So impious is basically, you know, it's like iniquity. It's this sin, or of a person or act wicked, impious. And so I'm in the dark here. Hold on. Can't even see my buttons here. There we go. And so we will take this impious over to the Sefer. And this is the ending of Enoch. And Enoch is, you know, there's things that we should take notes of. And I thought this was one of those things that we should probably all take notes of. I take note of it. Let's begin to see what Yah will bring to us. Enoch 98, verse 1. Woe to them who act impiously, who laud and honor the word of falsehood. You have been lost in perdition and have never led a virtuous life. Now, those are hard words. So if you are an evil, wicked person, if you are not living according to what the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator say, it said you've never led a virtuous life. So what we would think of as a virtuous life is not what Yah thinks of as a virtuous life. Verse 2, woe to you who change the words of integrity. They transgress against the eternal Torah. What does that mean, change the words of integrity? Well, I think one of those in my mind is all foods have been made clean. That is when they say that swine has been made clean and you start eating the swine like it's no thing, that's a problem, right? There is a problem with that. And those are the kind of words that I believe are, you know, it's not just transgressing against the Torah, but the eternal Torah. We're going against our Creator, which is crazy. Verse 3, and cause the heads of those who are not sinners to be trodden down upon the earth. Again, there's a huge clue right there, right? So the people that are anti-Yah, that are anti our God, are the people, the reason that we're trodden down on this plane that we live in, right? The reason that bad things happen are because of what the sinners have done. And if you're living in sin, it's going to be what you did as well. But I mean, here it says it is the people that transgress against the eternal Torah that the sinners are trodden down upon the earth. In those days, you, O righteous, shall have been deemed worthy of having your prayers rise up in remembrance, and shall have deposited them in testimony before the angels, that they might record the sins of the sinners in the presence of Elyon. And again, here's some more tips. Here's some more things. In the presence of, you know, if we're doing sin, it doesn't sound like it comes and goes. It sounds like it is something that we will be held accountable for. If not on this world, for sure in Judgment Day, right? We have the blood of our Messiah. But if we're living in sin, and at some point it's all going to come to remembrance. In those days, the nation shall be overthrown, but the families of the nation shall rise again in the day of perdition. In those days, they who become pregnant shall go forth, carry off their children and forsake them. Their offspring shall slip from them, and while suckling them shall they forsake them. They shall never return to them and never instruct their beloved. I don't think we have to go too much in the future I mean, I've seen this now. There's daughters of our Creator and there's daughters of this world that forsake their babies. Not only do we offer them up into the table of Moloch, 5,000, 6,000 a day in the United States alone, paid for by the taxpayers' money, but they have now abortion pills, right? Take 2 pills and your baby's dead, you know, flush it down. What, you know, they don't even make it to the suckling now because we are so into offering our children to Moloch. Verse 7, again, I swear to you sinners that crime has been prepared for the day of blood, which never ceases. Wow. What? Crime? So this is what when I read this, I'm like, wow, you know, when you're looking at some kind of crime, if you really want to have some crime against you, have what our Creator would consider a crime. So this crime, whatever's being prepared for the sinners, but it never ceases, it's a crime. They shall worship stones and engrave gold and silver and wooden images. They shall worship impure ruach, devils and every idol in temples, but no help shall be obtained for them. Their hearts shall become impious through their folly, and their eyes be blinded with the fear of their hearts. In their visionary dreams shall they be impious and superstitious, lying in all their actions and worshiping a stone. Altogether shall they perish. Right? And that is over and over and over in the Bible. It talks about don't worship carved images. Don't worship a stone. We have a living, breathing Elohim that is the maker of all things, and people will get a rock and start worshiping a rock. Right? Does this make any sense whatsoever? They're like, there's giant Muslims. Muslims have a giant rock. They dance around and they do all this stuff, right? Everybody's got the rock. Verse 9, but in those days, blessed shall they be to whom the word of wisdom is delivered, who point out and pursue the path of Elyon, who walk in the way of righteousness and who act not impiously with the impious. They shall be saved. So they're right there. Another indication of how do you be saved? Is it set and forget, pray a prayer and you're done? It doesn't say that. It says that in those who pursue the path of Elyon. What is the path of Elyon? Cade, what's the path of Elyon?
The Torah.
The Torah. He was sleeping. I got him. So that is right. The path of Elyon is the Torah. And those who walk in the way of righteousness. How do you walk in righteousness, Cade?
Well, by doing what Torah says.
Yeah, that's the only way that we would know what righteousness is what has been told to us. There's no other way. Verse 11, woe to you who expand the crime of your neighbor, for in Sheol shall you be slain. And it's the world of the dead, Sheol. There's a good Sheol and a bad Sheol. It's a waiting room. It's a very bad waiting room. Inmates, yeah, you're an inmate in Sheol. Woe to you who lay the foundation of sin and deceit, and who are bitter on earth, for on it shall you be consumed. So, guys, this is a lesson. This is a word to everybody, right? Who lays the foundation of sin and deceit? What is sin? Caden, what is sin?
Sin would be to the transgression of the Torah.
Yeah, 1 John 3:4 is transgression of the Torah. We would not know what sin is. So if you guys are sinning, if you're eating pork, you're allowing your family to eat pork, and you serve it up for your dinner, you're laying the foundation of sin. I don't know about it being deceit. It's deceitful to our Creator, but I mean, it's just ridiculous. Verse 13, woe to you who build your houses by the labors of others, every part of which is constructed with brick and with the stone of crime. I tell you that you shall not obtain peace. A lot of people will do that. A lot of people will build their entire existence off of stolen proceeds. How they ended up with it, cheating their brothers, sisters, family, anything of the sort, right? Verse 14, woe to you who despise the extent of the everlasting inheritance of your fathers, while your souls follow after idols, for to you there shall be no tranquility. Woe to them, verse 15, who commit iniquity. Again, woe to them who commit iniquity. Which iniquity are we talking about? All iniquity, right? If you are against the covenant of our Creator, you are in iniquity, right? Woe to them who commit iniquity and give aid to blasphemy, who slay their neighbor until the day of the great judgment. For your glory shall fall. Malevolence shall he put into your hearts, and the ruach of his wrath shall stir you up, that every one of you may perish by the sword. And I think that word is right, malevolence. Verse 16, then shall all the righteous and the holy remember your crimes. One other piece here I was going to do in this, because this is kind of a judgment of Yah. So this will be real quick. Verse 99, in those days shall fathers be struck down with their children in the presence of each other, and brethren with their brethren shall fall dead, until a river shall flow from their blood. For a man shall not restrain his hand from his children, nor from his children's children. His mercy will be to kill them. Nor shall the sinner restrain his hand from his honored brother. From the dawn of day to the setting sun shall the slaughter continue. The horse shall wade up to his breast, and the chariot shall sink to its axle in the blood of sinners. Wow. Blood of sinners, guys. This is basically where we do not want to be, right? We don't have to be in the blood of sinners. We don't have to be on the wrong side of iniquity. We don't have to be that person. Kate, how do we not be that person?
Well, we don't sit there and eat pork. We don't sit there and disobey the commands that our Father gave us.
Right. And so if we are keeping the law, statutes, and commands of our Creator, we will walk in a righteousness. We will walk in a holiness. Now, a lot of people are like, people accuse us all the time that they think that we are winning our salvation with works. Tell me about this.
It's more like a resume. He's gonna look at you and say, "Wow, you did a really great job. This is very righteous. Come to my team." It's not a work your way to righteousness, because it's not by works that we are saved, but by the blood of Yeshua. This is like almost a bonus. Like, you are my child. You proved yourself to me. You're
showing your works of your salvation by your works. You're showing the redemption of your salvation. If you are saved, you will want to walk in the same ways that our Father walks, which is in holiness. Don't mess with the widow. Don't mess with the orphans. Don't do evil. Don't be involved in great evil, right? And so these are the things that we can do, that we can be holy. And that's, there's no other resume in the Bible for it. You have the Christians who believe that they are sinless, that they can do whatever they want to do for all time. And, that is contrary to what the Bible says. And so, guys, hopefully you guys were able to find something in this lesson today. I hope you guys were able to get a story. I hope you guys are able to see a little bit more about Boss Clan. I know everybody out there likes to judge everybody because we ended up with 10 dogs. You could judge all you'd like. It's our family. And we may die trying to keep our family alive, but we love the creations of our Creator, and they are all family. And so we go through quite a bit of drama, quite a bit of struggles, and I just don't have any other way around it at this point. So this is our life. This are the people we become. If you think for some reason that Torah keepers or the children of our Most High are weak, I guess all you got to do is just envision the Boss Clan rolling around fighting dogs, because that's what we absolutely have to do to keep our babies alive. All right, guys, with that, much love. Cade?
All right, shalom. Read your Bibles.
Read your Bibles. All right, guys, we're out. Much love.